I've watched almost every video made against antinatalism, and all those videos made me realize how right I am. It is good to give someone with an opposing view a chance to express themselves. That is really good, so that if you are wrong, you realize that you're wrong. But the more I watch videos of people talking about antinatalism, the more I realize that antinatalism is really the final truth. I don't care how intelligent you are. If you try to disprove antinatalism, what's going to happen is that you're going to end up looking stupid. You can't disprove antinatalism. It's not possible. See, truth is unfalsifiable. So if you live by the philosophy of antinatalism in your life, you realize that it actually works. Like, if you decide that you're not going to own a pet because you don't have enough money to take care of that pet, or because you live in a broken home, or you are homeless, well, there won't be a pet that is suffering because of you. But if you still decide to adopt a pet, even though you see that you can't take care of it, then it's going to suffer. Even if you see that the environment where you live isn't good, that pet is going to suffer because of your ass, right? Because of your selfish ass. Antinatalism is true on so many levels. So most of the time when I talk about antinatalism, I'm not even like talking about extinction, like, oh, let's all of us should just stop having kids. No, that's not even what I'm saying. Most of the time, that's not even what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that, hey, look at your own life, right? Look at your own life. I understand that life itself is suffering. I understand that almost every person wants to have children. That's what I understand. But what I'm really saying is that, hey, look at your own life. Do you really think that your child is not going to suffer unnecessarily because of you? Right? Like, when you look at your own life. Right now, I'm not even talking about the suffering that comes with life, because life itself is suffering. I'm talking about unnecessary suffering right now. You look at your own life. More than 95% of people in this world don't really qualify to, be raising another person. More than 95%. Like, if 95% of people in this world wanted to adopt, they wouldn't qualify. I want you to understand that. If most of y'all wanted to adopt, you wouldn't qualify. And if children could choose their parents, they wouldn't choose 99% of people who are parents. So look at yourself. Do I really qualify to raise another person? Do I understand other people? Or I'm just going to abuse I shouldn't even say it because YouTube might limit this video, but you do get what I'm trying to say. YouTube will limit advertising on this video or restrict the video. So I must be careful what I say. But, hopefully you get what I'm trying to say. The truth is simple. The truth is always simple. The truth is never complicated. It's lies that are complicated. When you look at your life, you know you don't qualify to raise another person. You know you don't understand enough about anything to be raising another person. You don't even know what to do when your baby is crying. You see parents saying curse words to their children because they don't even have patience. Like, what? That's your baby. That's your baby. You wanted that baby. You can't be saying curse words to your child. You wanted that baby. It's your baby. If your baby is crying, you need to figure out why they are crying. When a kid is depressed, they don't know what to do. Oh, it's demons. It's demons. I must take them to church so that my pastor will pray for them. Like, what? We are a sad generation because we were raised by people who didn't know what they were doing. They were also children. They were just bigger and had more power and experience, but that's it. And one of the problems is that our generation was a bit smarter than, the previous generation. Maybe not even a bit smarter, like much smarter than the previous generation. A lot of things that this generation can do that the previous generation cannot do. A lot of things that this generation can learn that the previous generation couldn't learn. A lot of things that this generation knows that the previous generation doesn't know. So there's always been a conflict between this generation and the previous generation. The previous generation used their experience to say, hey, I'm older. You're supposed to listen to me. I'm older. I'm your parent, or I'm your grandparent. I'm your brother. I'm your sister. We don't know what we're doing as people, and it sucks. Like this is a mess. It's not working. Just because we're alive doesn't mean that this is working. What did Nicki Minaj say on a Moment for Life song? And to live doesn't mean you're alive, something like that. But just because, what I would say is that just because you are alive doesn't mean that you're living. I think that's the best way that I can put it. Just because you're alive doesn't mean that you are actually living life, right? Doesn't mean that this is actually working for you. And I'm telling you, most people ain't really living life. They are just alive, It's just like 50 Cent said about Ja Rule. They said, I remember he was being interviewed and say one positive thing about Ja Rule, and he said he's alive. We're just alive, man. That's it. Like, we're not really living life. We're not doing the things that we want to do. We are not happy. We feel alone. Like, this is not working. This is not working. This is in progress. I want you to understand it. See, one of the reasons why we would want progress in society is so that we'll be happier. It's not, we don't want progress so that we'd have technology that we can't even use, or that doesn't really make us happy, that makes us more depressed. That is in progress. Progress is in us creating weapons. Progress is in us figuring out how to defeat other countries. Like that's not progress. Progress is people becoming happy. Progress is turning this realm into heaven. You see? It's to make sure that there is less suffering. If there's more suffering than ever, then this is in progress. It may seem like people are not suffering because, most people are not starving. Most people are not homeless. Most people are safe. You don't have to deal with wars. But you can eat so that you will suffer, right? You can live, not actually live, but you can be alive so that you will suffer. This reminds me of what this other lady was saying about hell. She was saying that people in hell, when they were banning, she said that she had a near-death experience and she was taken to hell. So she said when people in hell were banning, what will happen is that their bodies will recover, right? They will ban, and look unrecognizable, but then their own bodies will recover so that they will burn again. Is it? So that's what's happening. We are eating so that we'll get burned. Yeah, that's what's happening. So that's still suffering. That's not good. This also reminds me of the movie. I think the movie is called The Old God. So this lady, she was immortal. She couldn't die. But these other guys decided to punish her by putting her inside a coffin and throw a body in the sea, right? So what happened is that she would drown, right? Because she was in the sea and, or at the bottom of the sea. So she would drown, and then die. Then wake up again because, she couldn't die. She was immortal, and then drown. Like that happened for many, many years. When they finally rescued her, dude, she was mad angry. Can you imagine? Just because you're alive doesn't mean that you're living. Don't you get it? That's what I'm trying to tell you. This isn't working. The point of life isn't to just be alive, It's to live. Enjoy yourself, man. Be happy. Not to be a slave, working a job that you don't like, barely making enough to, afford the things that you want. Nah, that's slavery, bro. That is slavery. When you look at what's going on, you realize that we are slaves. Like every person that I know is a slave, bro. Every person that I know complains about their job. Like they'll be complaining about their job. Like, I don't like my job. I don't like the fact that I have to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning and go to work. See, you don't even waste 8 hours of your day when going to work. Like you have to start from the time when you actually wake up. Like let's say you wake up at 5 and you clock in at what time? At 8. You have to also count those hours: 5, 6, 7, right? So this is like 3 hours of your time plus 8 hours where you would be at work. Also include your lunch break because you'll still be at work. So let's say you knock off at 4. How long does it take you to get home? Let's say you get home by 7. That's a lot of time, bro. That's slavery. That shouldn't be something that people should be happy about. We spend a lot of time focusing on things that we do not even love. You see, we are forced to focus on things that we do not love, and that's how it's always been since we're little. You know, being forced to go to school and learn garbage, learn things that we don't want to learn. You see, we weren't given a choice. Like, oh, what do you really want to learn? What are you really interested in? Oh, you're interested in art? Good. We'll teach you art if that's what you're interested in. Oh, you want to be a doctor? Cool. I mean, yeah, you might say, well, yeah, people are allowed to become doctors, but yeah, everyone is forced to do the same things. That's the problem. Not everyone wants to be a doctor. Some people want to be artists. Some people want to learn how to produce music. You see, some people just want to draw. You see, some people want to be MMA fighters. Like, people just want to do what they love, man. You can't force everyone to just, follow one path. You must realize what a person is actually interested in, so that they will end up doing what they love, so that they will end up living, not being a slave, you see? Not being in a coffin, waking up and dying, because that's exactly how we'll be living life. We're just working just to survive. We gotta eat, right? We gotta eat so that we have energy to do things, and then get hungry, and then we eat so that we have energy to do things. But this isn't meaningful. This is completely meaningless. This is unlovable. This isn't good. This isn't life. So we must realize that this is not working. So what do you do when this is not working? Do you create more people that are going to be as lonely as you are, that are going to feel alone, that are going to work shitty jobs, that are going to go through what you've went through, or worse? I mean, that's what usually happens. People usually go through it. Like, what we're going through now is nothing compared to what the next generation is going to go through, because, well, things are already not working out, and we're reproducing like we're crazy, because human beings are children. He said children just want to play and have fun, and since they can't really have fun here, they just have children because they feel like that's fun, right? Raising a child is fun. Oh, look at my baby. This reminds me of this joke by Joe Rogan, where it's talking about how dumb people are outbreeding smart people. He's saying that he thinks that dumb people outfucked smart people. Oh, I made a baby. No, he looks just like me. Oh, how many babies did you make? I made 7. Oh, I made 8. Well, smart people were busy mapping out the cosmos, doing some mathematical equations and all that. The dumb ones was just fucking away, and so we're all the bastard children of the stone workers of Egypt, right? So what he was basically saying is that we're devolving, we're not really evolving. What happens is that the dumbest people are the ones that will be having children. So what happens is that a generation after this is going to be dumber, because the smartest people are not going to be having children, right? Because they're trying to figure out how things really work. But the dumb ones are just having children. Like, it was funny, but true in some sense, but not completely true, but just in some sense. So I thought it was funny. He was like, yeah, my worst fear is that all the intelligent people are gonna die, and they will leave us with a bunch of shit that we don't understand. I mean, do you know how anything works? Or what do you do when the power goes off? I don't know what to do. I just wait. I just wait. We think we're smart because we're just using a bunch of shit that smart people have already figured out. I don't have a camera on my phone because I'm smart. I don't even know what a camera is. All I know is that I press a button and a picture shows up. What happens between me pressing the button and the picture showing up is what is business? We're not smart, we buy shit from smart people. So if all smart people died out, they'll leave us with a bunch of shit that we don't understand, and we'll just move back to the caves. And when people talk about trigonometry, like, fuck that, I just stab a monster with a pointer starting to point to stick. Right? So when an elephant shows up, you just, because you're in a cave, you just stab it, and that's it. And then after few generations, would rediscover the world, and we'll be like, who built all this shit? It has to be aliens. So that was like, he was basically saying that his theory explains the pyramids, because no one knows who built the pyramids. So we think it's aliens because the dumb people are fucked smart people. I thought that was funny, but kind of makes sense. Because people that I know that are really smart don't really have that many children. They do have kids, but like 1 or 2 children, and that's it. And the people that I know who are working shitty jobs, who have nothing, they'll be having like 8 children. Be like, what? 8 children? How are you gonna take care of them? They will have to suffer because of you. Probably make the same mistakes that you've made. It's sad, man. It's sad that we live in a world like this. We should have been focusing on building a better world, you see, for our children, if we think that having children is that important, so that they don't suffer. And what I'm telling you is that this world is not good enough for children. That's what I'm telling you. We didn't focus on that. We didn't focus on building a better world for children. We didn't focus on the future. See, people are selfish. You think people care about the future like that. They don't care. They won't be alive 100 years from now. So why should they care about the future? They don't care. They care about now. That's the thing. They care about now. So the more I hear people trying to disprove Antinatalism, the more I realize how right I am. Because I expect them to say things that make sense. I expect someone like Jordan Peterson to say something that makes sense. And he says nothing that makes sense. I'll be like, whoa, I'm right. I was a bit scared because I thought maybe you're gonna say something that makes sense, and I'll just realize that maybe I'm just a depressed monkey saying that people shouldn't have children. I'm the one with issues here, but you're not making sense at all. So I realized that I don't have issues. You're just not right. You see, what I care about is the truth. Are you speaking the truth or not? See, that's what I care about. Are you speaking the truth or not? Antinatalism is the truth, man. Antinatalism is the truth. That's the reason why I'm very enthusiastic about it. That's the reason why I always want to talk about it. That's the reason why I can talk about it for hours. See, I always have the energy to talk about antinatalism. I don't even think about what I'm gonna say when I take my camera and decide to press record. If I had to be on TED Talk, I wouldn't even prepare, like, at all. I would just do my own thing, do what I love doing, and like I wouldn't prepare, like, at all, like zero prepare. I wouldn't even think about that until I'm on stage, because I'm so right that I don't need to prepare. Like, it's the truth. You want the truth, you know antinatalism is the truth. People who want the truth know that antinatalism is the truth. People who are weak and who still let their emotions get in the way, don't really understand antinatalism. Don't really understand why someone, or how someone could be so strong that they don't let their emotions get in the way. Because it has everything to do with being strong. Right? It has everything to do with being strong. People think it has to do with being weak. Like, nah, man. I'm not gonna be the one who will be here 100 years from now. It'll be my children or my great grandchildren, right? So I wouldn't really care. I could just have children and die maybe 20 years later, and they suffer because of me. When things ain't really working out in the world, because human beings are selfish. We're not really creating a world where things are working out for everyone. You see, we are all looking out for ourselves. You think of someone like Elon Musk, who's saying people should be having children. What is he really doing to help people? I remember this other artist is a South African artist. His name is AKA. He was a South African artist. They killed him, bro. In front of the world. Like, we all saw the video of him getting assassinated. I will even say assassinated. Like, they killed the dude, and we don't even know why. He was not a gangster. He was not like, he was just like everyone else. He wasn't like more horrible than other humans. He was just like everyone else. They killed the nigga. I remember he made a tweet maybe 2 years back, because in South Africa there's load shedding. What happens is that they'll have to cut the power off in some parts of South Africa, so that for some time, maybe 2 hours, sometimes when we're on stage one, and then so that other parts will have power. Because if the rest of the country is gonna have power and they're not cutting, the power like that, then there's gonna be problems. Like, there won't be power anymore. So AKA he made a tweet to Elon, because Elon is from South Africa. It's like, hey, can you just try to help us, man? I thought that was funny, because if Elon wanted to help South Africans, he will be able to help South Africans, right? But this nigga wants to go to Mars. That's what is interesting. Like, and I think it's weird that these guys are focusing on going to Mars. Like, what's up with that? They're telling us to have children, but they want to go to Mars. Why? Of course, 20 years from now, they would have been able to go to Mars. 20 years from now, you see how much progress we've made. They've made technologically in 20 years. Like, between 2004 and now. How much progress they've made. So I do believe that by 2050, they will have made it to Mars. They'll find a way to get to Mars. Plus, with the alien technology that they are hiding, they will have made it to Mars. And leave us, fighting and doing, all the dumb shit that humans do. Because we don't really know what we're doing. We're lost, man. We're lost. We don't know what life is. We don't know why we're here. So what are we going to be doing? We're just going to be fighting. crucifying people for speaking the truth, forcing our religion on others. Oh yeah, you must believe in my religion. You don't believe in my religion? Oh, if you don't believe in my religion, you're evil. Hey, I was watching this series. It's called the Three Body Problem, actually. Three Body Problem. So, it's kind of confusing. Plus, I was drinking while watching it, so I didn't really understand what was going on. I just was like, let me just watch it. Let me just watch the rest of the series in one day and figure out what's really going on. But what I've picked up is that there was this aliens. I forgot what they call them, sun, something like that. Right, so these aliens were like far away from Earth, and they wanted to come to Earth because they wanted to, destroy humanity. Why? Because we suck. So they had this technology, right? They were able to send this thing that they were able to cover the Earth, right? This thing was able to show us whatever they wanted to show us, and we'll think that that's reality. Like whatever they wanted to show us, they can show you a human that's not even there, right? So what they did was, in the beginning, I think that's what may have been happening. In the beginning, there was this guy who was a scientist who didn't believe in God, and he was getting killed. What these alien beings wanted was that people who are very smart, who know that they're lying about God and all that, must be killed so that people would start believing in God, so that they will remain stupid. Scientists were dying. Scientists, like, they will show scientists a countdown, right? Like, and then they show them, and then a person will appear to them and tell them that, hey, you need to stop whatever science project you are working on. Otherwise, something bad is going to happen. If you don't stop working on the project that you're working on, something bad is going to happen. They'll show them a countdown, and they'll be the only person who's able to see the countdown. Like, yeah, when the countdown gets to 0, something horrible is going to happen. So they will have to quit working on the project that they're working on. What if that's what's happened? That's why religion is very powerful in this matrix, so that people will remain stupid. Because obviously religion is stupid. If you're smart enough, you know that religion has never really helped in any way. Like, people are fucking stupid right now because of religion. You talk to some people and you realize that there isn't that much difference between them and monkeys. Like, they're not conscious. Like, it's really scary. You can't tell me that antinatalism is not the truth. You can't. Because we don't know what we're doing. We're just suffering, clinging to life, bias towards life. We tell ourselves whatever. These people that are put in power, they tell us whatever, and whatever they want us to believe, or whatever they are told to say. Say this to them, say that to them. Sucks, man. If we still don't see that we're being controlled, and not for, like, whatever is being done to us is not in our best interest. We're being controlled. It's not so that we'll, like, thrive and become better. No, so that we'll remain in a very fucked up state of consciousness. where we keep on fighting with one another for stupid reasons, right? Reasons like religion. Just fight. People will hate you because you don't believe in the religion that they believe in. People will crucify you for saying you don't believe in a religion that they believe in. I don't believe in God. Must I be crucified because I don't believe in God? Why do you feel like I must be crucified just because I don't believe in God? I mean, they might not crucify you by literally crucifying you, but they will talk shit about you. They will deny you some opportunities. I remember someone told me that, like, oh yeah, man, you shouldn't have said publicly that you don't believe in Christianity, because some people are going to deny you some opportunities because you don't believe in Christianity, and that's true. No, that's how religious people work. Like, oh, this one was sent by the devil, blah, like, they tell themselves silly stories. How can we be proud of that? Like, silly stories based on some ideas that people came up with more than 1,000 years ago. If we believe this is working, we're lying to ourselves. It's not working, and it's never worked. Now, the intelligent ones have to suffer because they can see what's really happening. And even if they are not, able to see everything that's happening, but they've seen enough to know something bad is going on. Right? They've seen enough to know that something bad is going on. This is hell for intelligent people. If you really think about it, that's what you're gonna realize. That this place that we call home is hell for intelligent people. There's been so many people who told me that they wish they were dumber. I wish I wasn't this conscious because I'm suffering because of that. So I wish I was ignorant just like everyone else, because ignorant people seem to be doing fine. But I'm conscious. I'm aware of a lot of things that are going on, and because of that I don't feel good. It's like I keep on telling y'all that we don't live in a world that is good, but that seem bad. And the more you see things as they really are, you realize, oh yeah, it's good, it's brilliant. I was just blind. You live in a world that's really bad, that's really evil, but that's presented as if it's good. So once you start seeing it for what it is, you realize that, oh, what the hell? Like, they lied to me. Like, I wasn't really shown the truth, especially when I was younger. We live in a world of lies, man, where people who lie the most become successful, where people who tell the truth are discouraged. They used to kill people who told the truth in the past. Now, just discourage you. They just make you think you're crazy. Diagnose you with all kinds of mental illnesses. I have OCD, I have this, and people just believe that. Yeah, I have OCD, I have ADHD, I have this. Like, chill. Who gets to decide how a human should be? I'm serious. Like, who gets to decide how a human being should be? So if you are different, if your brain works a little differently, now you have mental illness. You must be normal, just like everyone else. Like, no, you're different, and you must be different. That's what's making you great. That's why Joyner Lucas is Joyner Lucas. That's why NF is NF. You know what I mean? This talented artist. Very, like, they're superhumans. They're doing things that are not everyone can do because they're different, right? Because they can't focus on things that they're not interested in. You see? So that's not bad. But they'll make you think that that is bad because they're trying to control you. They're trying to feed you some information that you're not interested in. Your brain is rejecting that information. They're like, oh, you have mental illness. That's why you're not interested in what we are feeding you. You know, the other humans are interested in what we're feeding you. So you have an illness. Like, no, I'm just different. I'm just operating at a certain level of consciousness. And, you know, maybe a lot of people have not reached that level of consciousness. So they don't really understand what I understand. They don't really think the way that I think. My truth is simple. Your truth is complicated. Thank you all, guys.